and here we are going to start today's briefing session. And this is 19th of March, Thursday. We have a lot of important data. Yesterday, we have seen very tremendous moves in gold, and we have seen how the market have reacted, the important zones which we have marked on the chart. All the important zones have been broken, and the biggest question of the hour, which is being asked by a lot of traders right now, and that is the main reason for the confusion which all the traders are facing right now, that where the market is going to head next, right? Especially for the uh, uh, precious metals like gold and silver, what are expectations, how the crude oil is going to impact, and what, and because of this, right, because these are the important commodities which are impacting the market, and how the other asset classes is going to react. So without wasting time, let's start today's session. This side Anurag, I'm the senior client success and learning manager at BMN Capital. So the number one headlines which we have is the European gas prices have been soared. Soared means uh, they are continuously increasing. Then Bank of England seen holding rates at 3.75%. Same is the case with US. We have seen that there is no change. Then same is the case with ECB also. Same kind of tones are coming from the European central banks, right? UK jobless rate steady at 5.2%. So everything is being at a very constant, right? And then these things are impacting. If we compare the energy prices, so in comparison to the WTI, which also we call the US oil, Brent oil, which is the UK oil, is been continuously and aggressively breaking the above resistance, right? So these are the important news for today. Let's have a quick look on the economic calendar for today, because we have a lot of important data to be released today, right? So in the starting, from the day start, we had the Fed press conference, and we have seen the reaction, that how the market have reacted. Moving towards the next data releases, right? So we'll just discuss that how the market have reacted to all this news, and what are the outcomes of all the things, right? So we have the net long-term tick flows, right? So these are the treasury inflows, right? Like the short-term bills and all, right? So previously it was 96.5 billion, and currently it is 15.5 billion. It is not a good sign for US, right? Although on one hand it is telling us that the debt is decreasing, right? But if we see the foreign bond investment, so previously it was negative, and right now it is 49.9 billions, and that is the biggest news, which is telling that there is a tremendous growth if I talk about investment in the US denominated assets, and who especially invest into this are the central banks, right? So central banks still have lot of confidence on the US economy, and that is the reason from a negative 27 billion to a positive 49.9 billion, almost 50 billion, right? So almost it's a very, very tremendous growth which we have seen. Then moving towards the data which are still pending to be released, right? We have a lot of speeches also from the Japan, which is the Bank of Japan Governor Ueda speech, which we have seen. Bank of Japan interest rate decision, which is constant and which is in positive territory right now. So now let's see which are the data which are still pending to be released. So at 3:30 p.m. we have the construction output and the labor cost index, right? This is the and wage growth, right? So these are the data which will tell us that in future what ECB is going to do in terms of interest rate decisions, right? So if there is an good wage growth, so in that case inflation is going to rise, right? But if inflation rises and wage growth are not rising, and the energy price is also rising, so that will be a nightmare, right? Especially for the middle class population, or the labor class population of that specific geography. Moving ahead toward the next, so for Bank of England, we have the interest rate decisions, and the probability and the consensus is that they'll keep the interest rate same, right? So Australia is only the exception which have increased their interest rates. Now we need to see that what Bank of England will do, right? Although the consensus and everything is, and they also take into consideration the decision taken by the Fed before releasing their decisions, right? So kind of they follow the same thing which Fed do. Okay. Then we have the building permits data, and then we move to the US session, and here we have the building permits data. So it is being at 1.455 millions, right? And right now the consensus is for a lesser figure. So we need to see, this is the important data at 6 p.m., which is the initial jobless claim data. So we need to see, because we have seen the NFP data for this month shown a tremendous negative figure, and this figure should also come in a lesser numbers, right? So previously it was 213K, and right now the expectation of the consensus is that it may rise by 2K, right? That is 2000 more, or plus figures are being expecting by the market. So we need to see if there is a surprise, if these figures come more than this, right? If there is a growth in the initial jobless claim, so that is the expectation of the market. There will not be any surprise. But if there is a anomaly and figures come lesser than 213K, then there is a very big discrepancy in the market, and in that case traders are going to react. Then moving towards the next data, so we have the ECB interest rate decision. So this data will have an impact on the European currencies and their indices and their stocks. Then we have the New York Fed bill purchase 1 to 4 months, right? So this is very important data, because New York Federal Reserve Bank is having the power, right, to buy back the short-term bills to reduce the debt. And we have seen the tick flow of the data, which is also reducing. So it's a good sign for the dollar and a bad sign for the gold. Then we have the new home sales data. So we need to see that how the real estate sector is performing. If there is an improvement in the real estate sector, so the figure comes in positive, that is a very, very good positive sign, that means the economy is performing very good and in an expansion mode. And as a result, dollar is going to get stronger, and high probability that uh, if there is negative figures, then it will be a negative news for this. Then we have the EI natural gas stock change. So we need to see, we have seen that the European gas prices are rising, and because of this Strait of Hormuz, the Iran and Israel conflict, right? Natural gas prices or the energy prices are rising. So this is the thing which will tell us that what exactly happenings. And we have seen that in the previous figure, we have seen a negative inventory, right? Negative stock change. Now there is an expectation that there will be a positive figure. So this will be the data which will bring lot of strong momentum into the prices of natural gas. So please keep natural gas into your watch list. Okay, moving ahead, then we have the short-term bill auctions, right? So we have 4 week, 8 week, and 15-year, 30-year mortgages. The most important is the 10-year at 1030, right? So we need to see whether the bond interest rates are rising or not, because it will have a direct impact on the bond yields. And as a result, if you're trading into gold, this is the time, 10:30 tonight will bring lot of volatile movement in the gold prices, right? So this is very important. For the Canada also, we have the 5-year bond auction, right? So we need to have an eye. So what we need to see as a retail trader, previously they are offering 2.807% of interest on their 5-year bond. If they are increasing it, there are two scenarios. Either people are not that much interested, that is the reason they are offering higher interest. And if they are doing so, it is telling us a second story, that they require fund, right? They are in urgent need of cash flow, right? So that is the reason they are offering higher interest, right? Second thing which is telling us by this data is that still people believe in that economy, whether I talk about Canada and especially US, right? If people are investing in a longer term period, that means they are very optimistic about that economy on that time horizon. If I talk about 10 years, so for 10 years they think that US is going to perform very good. So these are the important fundamental data for today, right? Macroeconomic data releases which we have seen. So there are a lot of good data to be released today, right? Which is going to impact the market. Now let's move on to the second section of our report, that is the technical part. So it in technical sections, what we do, we try to understand the market structure right? What kind of market symmetry is being formed, right? And try to identify the what will be the next trajectory of the prices, right? So just to have an idea that from which price point will have a very good trading opportunity. Now let's discuss that how the market have failed our analysis. So yesterday we have identified this order block, right? And this is a H4 time frame. See a very strong candle which successfully breaks this order block over here, which I marked, right? Then also breached this order block, right? And in the next candle, it taken a hold for 4 hours because this is a 4 hour candle. Prices again went down, right? So give me a close, then again taken the correction, retest, and then again the continuation. So the continuation is still into the pace. So that means still the downside, there is lot of room available for prices, for gold prices to go down more. So this is into the H4 time frame. Now let's have a look on a H1 time frame for the intraday traders. So this is the regression channel which we have identified, right? I've given you the logic that majority of time, right? If you want to identify in which direction there is high probability that we'll have a breakout, so we need to count the candles in which specific segment of in which part. If I talk about these two zones, in which zones the highest number of candles have been formed, because lot of price action have been done in that specific sect. So over here you can see in the downside we have lot of candle formations, and what happens, right? This is the regression channel. Yesterday when we been discussing, prices are trading at this point, right? Then we have a sudden breakout without a retest. Prices fall very, so it's a bloodbath into the market. And if you see the momentum, the size of the candle, right? So this is one candle, a more stronger candle, then the more stronger candle we have, right? Then a short term profit booking or short term correction, then again the continuation, then again a short term in the Asian session. They are quite uh, buying happens, right? And then again there is a very strong fall into the prices. So nobody can thought of taking a buy right now. Just wait for the prices to take corrections, and then after once the correction is done, again you can bet that prices might go more down, right? Now we need those areas that how much downside movement we can expect. So the first and the foremost level is the this low over here, right? This low. So this low is being situated at 4654, right? So the probability that this low has been taken is quite high, right? From here the next correction would come, that means prices will take a halt at this price, then try to go up, then again retest it, and then if there is a start of new swing highs, right? That means higher highs and lower highs formations, then we think of converting an R biasness towards the buy side, right? Second thing, if you see that we have a swing point over here, then a very strong move towards the upside, then this trend line consolidation which have been broken, retested, again went down. Prices have breached this low, right? Now this low, if this is broken, if we get a close below this, then again we wait for the prices to retest this. After the retest, we'll take the entry toward the sell side. And if the sell side momentum again continues, so this would be the next target for sell side, which is a nightmare for a lot of people who have hold their positions into the buy. But those who have sustained these positions, right, for a longer period, right, gold is going to continue its momentum towards the upside for sure, right? Because if prices come below this levels, lot of people will find that gold is giving a very good fair value to accumulate, and people will start accumulating. So don't get panic. Bring your capital into the market, try to hold your positions, and if you don't have, it's better you should book your losses right now, or convert your positions toward the sell side by designing the hedge. Okay, and if you apply the moving averages also, so you'll find lot of moving averages, right? Currently I think 21 have been surpassed, then you can place the 55, then the 144, then 200 moving averages. So moving averages will also act as a strong rebounds areas, right? Now let's see silver. So same is the case with silver. Over here we have the divergence which we've been tracking, right? Prices try to go up, then we have identified this fair value gap. From after testing this imbalance, prices again getting rejected with a very strong candle toward the downside, and from there they have started a movement toward the downside, right? And see this gray area which prices have broken, retested it three times, then again they have fall down, right? And this is a very important level which have been broken by the prices over here, which is this low, right? Then they have broke it, and then again they have taken the correction, right? And then again they have continued a movement toward the downside. Now we need to identify that how much movement we can expect. So over here I am using the Fibonacci expansion. So what I'll do, I'll take this swing point, this and this, and then draw my Fibonacci. So this Fibonacci levels have been already broken, right? Now if I take this swing point after the retest and this, so this are the Fibonacci expansions level, and next level which is resting at 68. So the probability still there is room available. And if you focus on this trend line also, prices try to break it and now they are going downwards. So yes, prices might come down up to test this trend line, right? And our Fibonacci expansion level is also resting at this level. So till the time this test is not being completed, we are toward the sell side. We are think of on an any pullback towards the upside, we think of taking a sell call, and when the retest is done, and then we have a new microstructure being forming by giving the higher highs and higher low, we start taking the buy call. And this is going to happen when we have the divergence also on a bigger time frame in silver in the RSI. Now the US oil. So if I talk about the US oil, so US oil still moving sideways, but it is an indication that prices are still holding its ground at the above level. And let's see a bigger picture, right? So we have seen the accumulation, then the markup we have seen, then all of a sudden a free fall into the prices, which is the profit booking, and again the prices have been started. And right now they are in a manipulation phase, right? So if you mark this area, so it is kind of a channel. So over here I'm using the standard deviation, right, channel, right, just in this area, right? So this is the deviation channel, and within this the prices are deviating, right? And this is the midpoint of the deviation channel which I've drawn by default by taking this consolidation. And see prices are continuously getting rebounds from this level, right? So this is the pivotal point which I need to be broken, and before this swing point to be taken, I will have a new fractal being forming over here, right? That means this will be our mother candle, the most pivotal candle in the next 8 hours. There will be two candles which fail to take the low of this candle. If this thing happens, there is a confirmation that we can draw a trend line by connecting this line, and then we think of taking more buy calls toward the US oil. Till the time it is in consolidation, it is not the right time according to the H4 to take any kind of signals right now. Okay. But yes, those who are very aggressive and they tend to trade on a very smaller time frame and want to do scalping. So for them on a shorter time period, if I take, so see this consolidation, the breakout, and see the Bollinger Band is also squeezing. So high probability that there will be an breakout towards the upside is quite promising, right? So on a smaller microstructure, if we see we have a lower low formation, then we have a sideways manipulative move, right? We have fake breakouts also. Now we will have a accumulation phase. So the probability that oil prices might go up, and because of this, dollar is also going to get very good strength. And again, it's a very negative news for gold. Now let's have a look on the natural gas prices. Okay, so let me make it. So over here we have seen that the trend line have been broken. I marked this range. And what happens yesterday that the low have been taken and the high also have been taken. But in the high side we have the close, right? And again we have seen the news that the oil prices have been surging. So the probability that the prices might go up is quite high. And let me draw this trend line right now. Okay, because this is going to act. So see, this trend line is also been broken, right? So it's still there will be a sideways movement. There might be a dip toward the downside till it which will give us a retest of the trend line. When it is done, then the continuation is going to start because all the fundamentals are also supporting this thing, right? Now come to the GBP USD, right? So same like gold. See, this trend line have been broken yesterday. prices retested this trend line and there is a very strong continuation to the downside. So right now this is at a very good price move, right? So let me take the sell call. Oh yeah. Okay. So see why I've taken the sell call. I'm not recommending anybody to take. See, have a look at this swing points, right? So I've used the Fibonacci expansion. High probability that prices first test this level, right, which is at the 1.3236, right? So this, then just below it, we have this swing. Lot of liquidity has been resting, right? So this is a liquidity zone, right? That means the stop loss area. So high probability that it is might be taken. And just below it, this, if this is broken, then there will be a strong downward move, moves toward the downside. And this is my Fibonacci levels, right? Which are telling me that if prices fall from here, right, there, then there will be a very strong movement and prices might test this 1.3138 levels, right? Now let's have a look on the Euro USD. So as compared to GBP USD, Euro USD is not giving that kind of strong movement, right? This is the H4 time frame. This is the trend line, right, which have been broken, and this is the zone which we have marked with the red horizontal lines, right? Prices have broke it, retested it, then again they are going downwards. So high probability that prices might go downwards, and the next level will be this lows, right? This lows, right? We need this lows to be taken. There is still probability that you might find a reversal from here, right? Okay, towards the upside. And if this is broken, then there will be a continuation. So there will be a break, retest, and again the downward trend is going to continue. Let's have a quick look on the USD CHF. So dollars are getting stronger continuously, right? Let's have a look on the USD CAD. Same is the case with USD CAD. See this. So we have a inverse head and shoulder formation. This is the neckline on which the price is being forming. See this. This is on H4 time frame. Previous to previous week, we have drawn this channel, right? And again, prices retested this channel, right? And again, they are trying to entering back into the zone of this channel, right? So, and it's a strong indication that prices might go towards the upside. Now let's have a look on the USD JPY. See these levels. Prices have came down, right? First corrections we have projected over here from the trend line, which have been done. Then again prices went up. Then again went down and taken the support from the trend line. And see, I've connected this dot lines, right? Then again prices went up, broken this swing point, right? Give us the close, which is the break of structures. Also, if you go on a smaller time frame, prices again came back, retested it, and then again they are showing strength toward the upside, right? And this candle successfully gives the close and it's a bullish engulfing pattern. So if prices continues upwards, taking buy call would be good. And if prices takes a rejections and give you a close below this bullish engulfing pattern, high probability that either prices might give a congestion or a sideways movement, and then the continuation, or if prices successfully give you a very strong candle with the close below this, then high probability that prices might come back down to this level of 155, right? Because we have news that the Bank of Japan is being intervening into the market and try to control the JPY currency exchange rate. Now let's move on to the second last segment of the report, that is the indices, right? So for this, let's have a look on the Wall Street 30, right? So this is the thing, right? So yesterday when we were discussing this rounding uh, top is being forming, right? We have seen the small size of the candle, which is indicating that the bullish momentum is getting slower, and we have given the projections toward the downside move. And the same thing has happened. This trend line have been broken and a strong move towards the downside. And if you see the war scenario also, so still there is lot of room available. So let me draw that this would be the next area which being tested by the market, which is resting at 4570. So let's make it 45759, right? So over here. Okay. So this would be the next target area for the Wall Street 30 on a daily time frame, right? So yes, you can take or you can think of taking a sell call in the Wall Street 30. And we have a lot of news also. Now in the last is the BTC-USD. So we've been very promising, and we have identified that this is a order block, small order block formations, right? Which have been tested. And yesterday we have given the projection that after making this spinning candle, the probability of a correction toward the downside is quite high. But it is not telling us that prices might fall, right? So let me redraw my trend line, right? Just focus on this trend line, and I connect the dots, right? So this would be the trend line. So there is a downside room is available, and prices might go below the 68750 level. So the downside probability is there. And from here, if you see small size candle or a sideways movement, then again the prices might take a correction toward the upside, because this zone and this area, which is at 78923, is still pending to be tested. Right. But yes, the second scenario is that if there is a very strong move which breaks this low, then high probability that Bitcoin might go below the 50,000 level. So that's all for my side. We have covered all the important data segments, all the macro data interpretations, how the market is impacting, what are the key important zones, and what are the possible trajectories of different asset classes, including gold, oil, energy, indices, and Bitco have been done. So this side, Anurag, I hope that whatever time you have given me to watch this, I've tried my best to give you the value addition into your knowledge. So that's all for my website. I thank you all of you for attending this. Till the time, have a great trading day ahead. Bye bye. Thank you.